MFA, multi-factor authentication, is exactly as it sounds. It's the use of more than a single factor to authenticate a user or a device to a system or an application. These factors break down into three areas: something you know, something like a password or a PIN, something you have, a PIV token or a bank card, and something you are, things like biometric credentials that may be your fingerprint or your facial recognition as we use on phones. And it's the combination of more than one of these factors that increases the level of assurance and trust to authenticate to the systems and applications we need access to. I think it's important to think about the way we actually utilize this in our daily lives. I'll use an example as a bank card and your PIN. You use a combination of something you know, your PIN, and your bank card, something you have, to gain access to your bank account or into your cash, to gain access to your cash through an ATM machine. Many of us who support the federal government, we also use a PIV card, something we have, which is that physical card with something we know, a PIN, that is utilized to unlock access to the cryptographic token or credential on that card. And then we also, many of us use things like Google Mail, Gmail, and Microsoft's Office 365. And we may have an authenticator application installed on our phone. And this can provide increased levels of assurance and trust in our authentication because we're introducing additional factors. So in the case of accessing Microsoft 365, we use our username, our Active Directory passcode or password. Hopefully it's a passcode, more than a dozen characters long. And then we are prompted through that authenticator app on our phone to validate the use of those credentials to gain access to Microsoft 365. And what we're introducing is an additional level of factor around something you have, which is your phone. And in order to authorize that access, we might use the PIN code on our phone that we use to unlock our phone, or our fingerprint. So that may be an additional something you know, the PIN code, or something you are, that fingerprint.